Okay, this morning the market is moving again. Big picture, the Nasdaq is bouncing off of this high right now. That looks really good in terms of this big bearish candlestick we're currently forming. It's a 30-minute chart actually. I want a 15. Um, and so that's a nice resistance, but my thinking is that because we already did a big push and fail yesterday, and this overall kind of trend right here is moving higher. And then looking at the ES as well, is it stronger today? I think it's more likely that we bounce here and make new highs. This is a daily ES chart. Um, we could, honestly do a retest here and sell off. Like, this is a pretty big bullish move up that could use some kind of pullback. So either way, though, I think it's maybe looking for a long, possibly, if that makes sense, here in the next few minutes, as there isn't really that much news, and we have a decent flush lower. ES is just chop, which doesn't look great for it, and sometimes the market will sell off and flip in the first 15 minutes, which is 7:45 for me right here. Um, so at the moment, I'm not gonna buy right here. I can see it's at like this tiny little swing, but that's not where I like to put my money. I like to use it on a larger level, and then oil is just in a big sell off right now. Uh, Again, it's not really at an area I'm interested. It would need to come up to at least here. I could push this level a little bit higher, um, but it's a ways away from being touchable. Gold looks like it's starting to top out, honestly, but again, it's in such a tight methodical range here that it's not really super interesting to me. Um, Again, I like to see a big move in one direction, kind of like if we look at oil yesterday. Not a trade I caught because I was in another one, but big move down, chop, reasons to buy. It was at a decent support level, and then shoots up. Um, and so we're not really there. Natural gas, which is something I've been recently looking at a little bit more because it's got pretty volatile moves. It's kind of got a decent move up here, um, pushing into yesterday's kind of high. So there's potential there, but and natural gas is in a bigger picture downtrend here. If I actually pull this trend line down, that would be an interesting spot to look for a short. But again, it's always from there. So just kind of letting things play out and seeing if we get opportunities this morning. Okay, that's a bit of a. We're basically at the 8 o'clock time for a reversal. The ES is kind of at this uptrend, which I could see us bouncing off of. ES looks a little stronger. I don't really want to trade it just because it's just kind of choppy in a weird way. I don't know. Even though it's the stronger one, I don't really want to trade it. I would rather trade the Nasdaq because of the movement it has. But I think I need like a Head and Shoulders or a really clean double bottom. Otherwise, this was a lot of momentum going down. Like, this is a strong move, and so I don't want to get in the way of that. If it's gonna bounce here and then just keep going lower, um, it's in a good spot though. It could totally bounce here. Just seeing what happens. Downtrend's broken. It's clearly overextended to the downside. But I'm not going to take the first stab up. That could just be a bait and then it rips lower in. The ES is so small. Like, these are ticks. It's moved a matter of points this morning. This is like trading it yesterday. It's pretty damn, like there it was moving a lot more. But it was still not crazy. Huh. That's too aggressive. I'm not taking that. I'm waiting a little longer than normal here, but ES is strong. I would not have gone long right there though. That was at 09. 09. No. I need at least probably 20 minutes of data, yeah. What the f was that? Hello? What random blip just happened? That was crazy. Okay, not going on a walk. I want to see how it reacts after that because that's doesn't seem methodical and it seems like just like someone just put in a fat sell order. Makes me a little nervous and making me want to go smaller size. And almost just kind of see how, I mean on a 5 minute, what does this look like on a 5 minute? Looks pretty good in terms of a retest. ES just looks like a chop fest on a 5 minute. This looks like it could keep going higher. I think if it made like another push lower and retested this, I made an actual double bottom, I think I would like that. Because that wick is just off of zero volume, I'm sure. If it makes a new push lower, I need to stay. Yeah, I can't. I'd like to go on my walk, but I need to stay. Because this could be the final fake lower. If it gives that this whole candlestick right here, that's pretty damn good looking. And I would be down to enter in on that. A little nerve-wracking, but again, I'm smaller size. It's a nice setup, but it's not amazing. Looking at the ES, it's, well, still just in its choppy range. Just gonna see how this plays out. Okay, we are in. Put my target. Again, I'm kind of nervous about this one. It just doesn't feel great. The setup's there. Big picture, we're at a nice level. We've had a massive move down. I think the market, my inclination this morning with the market was going to do a pullback and push higher. The ES is actually looking stronger. I would say it's pretty choppy at this point. I'm taking a trade at 8:30, which is kind of like not a great hour. But if this candlestick finishes forming like this on a 5-minute, this looks clean. On a 5-minute candlestick forming like that, that looks super clean to the upside. That we're likely to put in a bottom here. And so I really like this trade. But, you know, smaller size just because I felt a little funky about things. And we'll just see what happens here. A little nervous. Just gotta breathe through it and let things play out. Again, I'm smaller size. It's okay. It doesn't have to be right every time. I'd rather be wrong when I'm smaller size. That's why I'm smaller size, because the setup's still great, but it just is a big bearish move and I'm not a super fan of it. And it's also long. Longs are more difficult than shorts. I think if it goes up to 1x here, I'm going to move my stop up slightly, depending on what's going on. I think just to break even, honestly. Yeah, 5-minute looks so good. Just look at a 5-minute. It makes me so confident in the trade. Five-minute just looks super clean. Like, just a super clean double bottom off of yesterday. It does feel like it wants to sell back off. But let's see what the ES looks like, actually. If we look at the ES actually made a new high. That's really good. It's really good for this trade. I mean, I think the market's going to push up over the day. Overall. Like, looking at big picture, I think we're just poised to push new highs. Maybe not on the NASDAQ since it sold off so hard. But on a 15-minute, the ES just looks so good to keep going higher. Okay, now that this is breaking up, I actually do just want to get out. Or not get out. I am going to take off. I'm just going to take off 5 out of 9 at 2x. And then probably trail the rest. I'm just going to let this do its thing. I mean, if I think the market's going to rip overnight, not overnight, but natural gas here. I'm totally new to this, so I'm not really looking to take a trade. This is after natural gas news popped, which is just natural gas inventories. It's basically bouncing off of this level. Oh, and this. I mean, that's still pretty close to that downtrend line. Ooh, that's a nice spike and retest. You could have shorted right there. That looks pretty good. Oil is downtrend. Gold is downtrend chop. I'm glad I stayed out of that. Interesting. Still just learning natural gas, so not really watching it though. Ooh, natural gas looks like it's about to rip. This thing looks clean. I wish I was kind of watching it. After that news, jump in on this lower high that it made. After it really came up to this level. Sure, it broke a little bit, but it came up and touched this downtrend line. And it's got clean chance to just rip lower, which is nice. I'm just easing into that though. Everything else is just not interesting. ES is obviously would have been a better long than the NASDAQ, but wasn't super clean. Let's see, where would I have entered in? I entered in here, 29. ES would have been 29, would have been right here. Probably here after gearing up this candle. Oh yeah. So you would have been at almost 3x already. It's kind of a bummer. I'm basically at 1x right now on the NASDAQ. Even with ES looking kind of choppy, but you're just trading. I'd only be trading 2 contracts if I was doing 500 of risk. Wait, I swear it just had 3x. Okay, you'd be at a good 2x. Oh, I see. It's jumpy because it's so small. This was just way cleaner though. This felt way cleaner. But I mean, that's a pretty good go off of that. As long as it hits this 2x, and then I'll probably move this up to here and just let it play out. I mean, I think we have a good chance to rip the rest of the thing. You know? And I can take the rest off like 4. If we rip one, two, seems unlikely we're all the way up there, but we totally could. 5 minute. That'd be giving up the whole move. I'd want to get out at 4 before we hit the open. That would feel way better. So I'd need to get 4, take 4 off here. Could get a reversal at 10 or 9, around 9. We are hitting that point. And in terms of a 50% pullback of this swing, which is another resistance area, do I have a... It's not what I want. Okay, it's not what I want either. This blue line right here is 50% of this swing and this high. So we could top out pretty much in this area, which is basically where my 2x is. So we're coming up to 9 o'clock, an hour and a half after the market open, which is definitely a reversal window potential. But I'm just gonna I'm not gonna trail up here. I want to give it more room. I'm not gonna give it more than break even because ES is still at these highs. ES could sell off there. I could see ES selling off there. I'm not gonna do it because I'm in a long trade, obviously. But I could see things ripping back down. You know, if I'm trying to capture the big picture, I don't want to manage on these smaller swings. My big picture is the 5 minute, and that we're going to, you know, even on a 15 minute, bounce off of these lows and continue higher. If we're not, we're not, and that's fine. Because it's slowing down here and my stop's in a good spot, I'm just gonna go on a walk with the dog. There's not really much I can do. It's either gonna stop me out all the way, or it's gonna come up here and close out part of my trade, and at that point I'll be back. You know, it's only gonna be like 20 minutes. Okay, back from the walk. Oh, sick. Looks like I hit 2x on this. What does this look like? Oh, wow. It barely bounced off of my break even. That's sick. So I want to look at where this is now in terms of trailing up a little bit more. I think it just needs to... I don't think I can really trail up at the moment. Like, I could trail up here, you know, below that 5 minute candlestick, basically below this low. But, you know, again, it's okay. I'm capturing $100. Not that big of a thing. Yeah, and the ES here is close to actual all-time highs on the ES. NASDAQ is way lower than that. So, big picture, I definitely want to be out of this once we get close up here, because the ES is leading us to SP 500, and the NASDAQ is obviously a lagger in a big way. Bummer I'm not in on the ES, because if I was in, I would have been here, and this would have been clean into 3x territory, but that's how trading goes. Just let this play out. I think I'm going to get out the rest at 3x. I'm probably not going to have it sit at 3x. Where is 3x on a 5 minute? Right here. I mean, that's a nice spot. It's likely to run into a little bit of resistance here with that chop. And frankly, I've got stuff I'd like to get to today. Not a good reason to not stay in a trade, though. But on a 5 minute, it still looks clean. I'm gonna go make food. I think I'm gonna take off 2 here at 3x, then trail the other 2 and see how I feel about it. Because this is still just kind of trending up slowly, but it's also just kind of slowing down. Like on a 5 minute of the ES, it's looking a little bearish. Obviously, like, it can still totally come into this trend line here. And that's why I don't want to just get out. But it's just going to slowly trend higher. I would like to just kind of close out here. Yeah, I'm gonna move this up to 2x. I'm not gonna let it have a big pullback on me at this point. I don't think there's a point. Okay, it looks like it's pulling back a little. It'd be a bummer to have it get so close to that TP, but it's okay. I was giving it room. I don't want it to let it pull back. It's showing to me that it's starting to slow down, and so it's time to get out. I didn't know that this was going to be the time to it slows down. And all I can do is go off of what my read is. And my read is that the ES is starting to top out. And that's the driver of this. And you can see that the NASDAQ is pulling back a lot faster. And so if the ES pulls back just a smidge more, the NASDAQ's going to rip lower, like all the way down here. And I'm not holding down to this trend line. Even though that's what it's kind of moving up, I'm not going to wait that, because the easy money is kind of over from this swing. We've given back up basically this whole swing. You know, obviously there's up here, but and now it's like, okay, if it bounces here, great. My stop's in a 6 spot. I clearly have my stop in the right spot. I'm not going to move it up 2 ticks. It's not that big of a deal. But if it bottoms there and keeps going up, because the ES is holding this trend line, great. Punch new highs. But that's definitely a change from this slow grind higher. Everything's just super slow now. The news is happening. It's 10 o'clock. So there's not really... Someone's talking at 11:30, 15, but... Yeah, trail up on this previous... Oh, it's a 5-minute close right there, so... I will trail up. I'm gonna do it. It's hard. Leave it where it was. It's not gonna make a difference. Yes, it's still holding though. Okay, closed out there. I think it's a good call. Thing's topping out. Still basically over 2x on a trade I wasn't super confident in. So, happy with that.